Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me express my sincere gratitude for participating in the 5th East Asia Energy Forum. EAEF 5 has marked a great success with insightful presentations and active discussions on challenges as well opportunities for resolving the crisis together. Let me try to summarize the key messages deriving from EAEF 5, very difficult task. First, we are facing unprecedented energy security and climate challenges since the 4th EAEF last year. The situation surrounding global energy landscape and climate strategies has changed a lot. On one hand, global ambition towards carbon neutrality has been further intensified by the adoption of the Glasgow Climate Pact. On the other hand, fossil fuel prices have risen steeply due to underinvestment. We had a lot of discussion on that. Russia-Ukraine war further exacerbated imbalances of global fossil fuel demand and supply. This is causing the increase of overall energy cost and deepening energy security concerns around the world. The decline in natural gas supply from Russia has led to unprecedented soaring spot prices. Asian countries are experiencing serious impacts from the gas crisis. Global LNG flows are redirected to Europe. Due to intensified competition over limited amount of LNG cargoes, developing and emerging economies of Asia are obliged to curb their LNG procurement. The Russia-Ukraine war is a wake-up call about the need of energy supply security. Periods of high fossil fuel prices offer stronger incentives to move away from the reliance of imported fuels and use them more efficiently. This may accelerate a shift away from fossil fuels, driving down costs of renewable energy quicker than expected. However, energy system transformation cannot happen overnight. Since energy supply insecurity is damaging current daily life and industrial activity, supply security of fossil fuels comes as a top priority in ASEAN member states. Under such a situation, the gap between actual energy trends and desirable energy transition pathways deriving from the Paris Agreement and the Glasgow Climate Pact could widen further gap. Simultaneous achievement of energy security and climate mitigation with affordable cost has become far more complicated. That is the first perception. Second, secure and stable natural gas supply is particularly crucial for achieving energy security and low carbon energy transition. Fuel switching from coal is pragmatic, short, and mid-term means for reducing GHG emissions towards 2030. Current energy price hikes could discourage such fuel switching and let coal stay longer in the regional energy mix than expected. Delay of fuel switching to natural gas could also hinder further penetration of variable renewable energy, intermittency, low capacity utilization ratio, and seasonality of VRE calls for backup system for balancing power demand and supply at grid level. Since battery technologies we discussed, battery technologies are still expensive, the need of operational flexibility of natural gas will increase in accordance with growing share of VRE. Gas price hikes could discourage rapid penetration of VRE. Since amelioration of natural gas demand-supply imbalance cannot be achieved merely by ASEAN and East Asia countries alone, global efforts, including enhanced energy efficiency, power generation from other sources, across the border ramping up of natural gas and LNG productions, optimization of gas infrastructure and investment in natural gas from upstream to downstream are crucial. Securing necessary investment in natural gas is particularly important. Ongoing global trends to phase out financing fossil fuel investment, including natural gas, for the sake of 1.5 degrees temperature stabilization goal could discourage investment for addressing current energy security concerns and result in prolonged economic predicament in both developed and developing countries. It should be acknowledged that ASEAN member states have much higher energy demand growth, higher share of fossil fuel in the current energy mix, and not necessarily favorable endowment of VR resources. This is second perception. Third, pathways towards carbon neutrality are plural. Increasing number of ASEAN countries have announced their respective carbon neutrality goals prior to or at the COP26. However, carbon neutrality cannot be achieved by a mere target announcement. Pathways toward carbon neutrality could be diverse among countries. Availability, accessibility, and affordability of energy supply as reflected in the APEC is the most fundamental requirement for ASEAN member countries, ACE there. ERIA's technology optimization analysis in collaboration with the Institute of Energy Economics of Japan, IEEJ, for decarbonizing ASEAN carbon neutrality in 2060 suggests 5 points. Number 1, energy efficiency improvement and electrification in end-use sectors combined with low carbon power supply would be core strategies for decarbonizing ASEAN energy systems. Number 2, not only VRE, but also other carbon-free technologies and negative emission technologies should contribute to carbon neutrality. Number 3, during transition periods, fuel switching from coal to natural gas, deployment of more efficient turbines, co-firing with hydrogen or ammonia play important role. Number 4, while technologies with affordable cost will be deployed in the midterm, more niche but expensive technologies would be required in the last stage of complete carbon neutrality. And last, number 5, mitigation cost must be reduced by technology innovation, large-scale deployment, and regional, international cooperation. And number 4, perception. The role of electricity storage is crucial. Intermittency is one of the main barriers of absorbing high share of VRE in electricity grid. Electricity shortage will therefore play a key role in integrating VRE to the grid. While the cost of VRE and battery is globally falling, these costs are still relatively high in ASEAN countries. Therefore, it is essential that government set up integrated technology strategies, including incentives and legal mechanisms to support the deployment of electricity storage system. Electrification of mobility adopted in many ASEAN countries will suit decarbonization objectives only if it goes together with a growing share of non-fossil fuel in power generation. Potential of electric vehicle EVs to provide vehicle-to-grid V2G flexibility services deserve consideration. This will enable greater penetration of VRE. It is therefore crucial that ASEAN countries pursuing mobility electrification also promote massive decarbonization of power sector in one integrated strategy. Finally, just with discussed. The role of transition finance should be highlighted. There are numerous opportunities to reduce emissions in ASEAN region. Climate sustainability will need to be considered altogether with energy security, affordability, and reliability of supply. Various governments and international organizations have established standards and guidelines to ensure that financial flows are consistent with the pathway towards carbon neutrality. However, these trends to focus on green technologies rather than transition technologies and often have limited geographic relevance to ASEAN region. ASEAN region has different energy landscape compared with North America and the European region in terms of economic development stage, current energy mix, resource endowment, cross-country interconnection. Such differences do not justify simplistic application of the standards and guidelines taken in advanced countries. Therefore, stakeholders, including governments, financial institutions, and the private sectors in ASEAN region, will need to make it clear what are the transition technologies, while simultaneously promoting renewables and clean technologies. Given high dependence on fossil fuel could continue in the region, providing emission reductions are necessary through the introduction of a highly efficient combined cycle gas turbine, CCGT, coal and ammonia co-combustion, gas and hydrogen co-combustion, coal and biomass co-combustion in the power generation together with CCUS. Gradually, all transition technologies will need to be identified and financed for the entire sectors. The government, private sector, banking sector, and other financial institutions should not hesitate to fund such identified transition technologies together with renewable and clean technologies. In addition, ASEAN countries should raise their voices in international debate on green finance so that diverse national, regional circumstances could appropriately be taken into consideration. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Minister Suisen and I will compile these messages in Phnom Penh Reflections and issue it immediately after this forum as an input to the EAS Energy Ministers Meeting. I believe they are all relevant issues for EAS Energy Corporation. Thank you very much again for your valuable participation.